Hello everyone, this is Preeti Sagar and welcome back to Career Launcher IAS. In this video, I'm going to discuss about expansion and consolidation of British Empire. So this is second part of this video. In the first part, I have discussed about its background, what has happened, what all events had happened, and what was the reason behind expansion, what was the success reasons behind the expansion of British Empire. So in today's video, I will discuss about conquest of Bengal and Mysore. In the next video, we'll discuss about other states which has been annexed by British Empire or British East India Company in the consolidation, expansion and consolidation phase. So first is about conquest of Bengal. So here we'll discuss about what events had led that had converted East India Company from a trading body to a military one, or from trade to battle we'll talk about. So through the early 18th century, conflict between company and Nawabs got intensified. After the death of Aurangzeb, Bengal Nawabs, they started asserting their power and autonomy as other regional rulers or powers, they were also doing the same at that time. So in Bengal, Murshid Quli Khan, followed by Ali Vardi Khan and then Sirajud-Dowla, they became or they came as Nawab of Bengal. Each one of them proved to be a stronger one. They refused to grant the company concessions. They also started demanding large tributes from the company for the right to trade in Bengal and denied their right to mint coins in Bengal. And they also stopped company to extend their fortifications. Company, on their part, declared that these demands are unjust and it is ruining the trade of the company. Trade could only flourish only if such duties were removed. So the conflict led to the confrontations and finally it culminated in the famous Battle of Plassey. So Battle of Plassey that has been fought between English East India Company and Nawab of Bengal in 1757. So officials of the company, they made rampant misuse of its trade privileges, which adversely affected the Nawab's finances. English fortified Calcutta without Nawab's permission. So because of this, Sirajud-Dowla, who asked company to stop meddling in the political affairs of the Dominion and stop fortifying Calcutta and pay the revenue. After negotiations got failed between two parties, Nawab marched with 30,000 soldiers to the English factory at Qasim Bazar. He captured company officials, he locked the warehouse and disarmed all Englishmen, and finally he blockaded English ships over there. Then he marched to Calcutta to establish control over companies fought over there. In 1757, Robert Clive, who was then Governor General, he led the company's army against Sirajud-Dowla at Plassey. One of the main reasons of the defeat of Nawab was the forces which has led by Mir Zafar refused to fight the battle. Mir Zafar was Sirajud-Dowla's commander. So when commander was refused, then this proved to be the biggest reason behind the defeat of Nawab of Bengal. Robert Clive, now here he managed to secure his support by promising to make him Nawab after crushing Sirajud-Dowla. The Battle of Plassey became famous because it was the first major victory which company had won in India. And after the defeat at Plassey, Sirajud-Dowla got assassinated and Mir Zafar was made the Nawab of Bengal. Then the events which led to the Battle of Buxar in 1764. So company, they were still unwilling to take over the responsibility of the administration. Their prime objective was the expansion of trade, and this could be done without conquest. Through the help of the local rulers who were willing to grant privileges, then territories need not to be taken over directly, and company found that difficult. When Mir Zafar started protesting, company deposed him and installed Mir Qasim in his place. Mir Qasim also started complaining, and he in turn got defeated in the battle fought at Buxar in 1764 and driven out of Bengal. Then Mir Zafar was reinstalled as the Nawab of Bengal. After that, Mir Zafar had to pay 50,000 rupees every month, but company wanted more money to finance their wars and meet the demands of the trade and other expenses of the company. It wanted more territories and more revenue. Finally, in 1765, Mughal emperor was appointed by the company as the Diwan of provinces of Bengal. And Diwani allowed the company to use the vast resources or revenue resources of Bengal. that solved a major problem that company had earlier faced. So from early 18th century, its trade with India had expanded now, but here it had to buy most of the goods in India with the gold and silver, or you can say bullion, that had to be imported from Britain. This was because at this time Britain had no goods to sell in India. So outflow of gold from Britain slowed after Battle of Plassey, and entirely it got stopped after the assumption of Diwani. Now revenues from India could finance company expenses. These revenues could be used to purchase cotton and silk textiles in India, maintaining company troops and meet the cost of building the company fort and offices at Calcutta. So in the second series of battle, that was Conquest of Mysore. So company restored to direct military confrontations when it saw a threat to its political and economic interest. Mysore, that was grown in strength under leadership of powerful rulers like Hyder Ali, who had ruled between 1761 to 82, and then after his death, his famous son Tipu Sultan, who ruled between 1782 to 1799. Mysore now controlled the profitable trade of Malabar coast where company purchased pepper and cardamom. In 1785, Tipu Sultan stopped the export of sandalwood, pepper and cardamom through the ports of his kingdom, and this allowed local merchants from trading with the company. Here, he had also established a close relationship with French in India and modernized his army with their help. So British saw Hyder and Tipu as ambitious, arrogant, and dangerous rulers who had to be controlled and finally crushed. In that series, four battles had been fought with Mysore between 1767 to 1799. So first Anglo-Mysore War that has been started in 1769 and ended in 1769, 67 to 1769. So after their easy success in Bengal, English were confident of their military strength. They concluded a treaty with the Nizam of Hyderabad in 1766 and persuaded them to give the northern Sirkar, in lieu of which they said that they would protect Nizam of Hyderabad from Hyder Ali. So here in the map at the right hand side, you can see Mysore was a big state, princely state, and it became an attractive point for Britishers. So Nizam, Marathas, and English they allied together against Hyder Ali. War continued for somewhere 1.5 years without any conclusion. So here Hyder decided to change his strategy, and suddenly he appeared before the gates of Madras. And after his appearance, complete chaos or chaotic situation and panic situation had been created at Madras that forced English to conclude a very humiliating treaty of that is called Treaty of Madras on 4th of April 1769. So this treaty provided for the exchange of prisoners and mutual restitutions of the conquest. Hyder Ali was promised the help of the English in case he was attacked by any other power. Then, after a few years, Anglo-Mysore War again happened. That was Second Anglo-Mysore War in 1780 to 84. Hyder here, he forged an anti-English alliance with Marathas and Nizam. So in Marathas and Nizam, they were at the side of East India Company in the first battle. Now in the second, Marathas and Nizam, now they sided with the Hyder Ali. In the meantime, English under Sir Arcoot detached from Marathas and Nizam from Hyder's side, but undeterred Hyder faced English boldly only to suffer a defeat at Porto Novo in November 1781. And here he regrouped his forces and defeated the English and captured their commander Braithwaite. Treaty of Mangalore. So basically, in this Treaty of Mangalore had been signed during Second Anglo-Mysore War. My mistake. So Hyder Ali, he died in between of this war because of cancer on 7th of December 1782. After his death, his son Tipu Sultan carried on the war for 1 year without any positive outcome. He got fed up with an inconclusive war. Both the sides now opted for peace. They negotiated the Treaty of Mangalore in March 1784, and under which each party gave back the territories it had taken from the other. So that was the conclusion of Second Anglo-Mysore War. Now, after a few years of this Second Anglo-Mysore War, a Third Anglo-Mysore War had been taken place between Tipu Sultan and East India Company. So here you can see the green part now. So green part of Mysore had been shrunken. So what had been happened? We'll discuss about. A dispute had been arose between Tipu Sultan and Strait of Travancore. By taking the advantage of the situation, English sidelined with Travancore and they attacked Tipu. In 1719, Tipu Sultan got defeated. The English under General Meadows In 1791, Cornwallis took the leadership and at the head of a large army marched through Ambur and Vellore to Bangalore. And here he captured he captured these places in March 1791. And from there they moved to Seringpatnam. Coimbatore fell to them, but they lost that again. And at last, with the support of the Marathas and Nizam, the English attacked Seringpatnam for the second time. Then, Treaty of Seringpatnam was the that was the conclusion of Third Anglo Mysore War. So, under this Treaty of 1792, nearly half of the Mysorean territory had been taken over by the victors. Victors, that is East India Company, Nizam, and Marathas. So, the shaded part, black shaded part, and black marked part, these are those territories which had been taken over by the victors. So blue part that has been given to Nizam of Hyderabad, red was under the British Empire and newly acquired, that is red boxes. So this territory had been taken by Britishers and the lined area that has been taken by Peshwa or Marathas. So war damage of the 3 crore rupees has also been taken from Tipu Sultan, out of which half he had to pay immediately and rest of the amount he had to give in the installments and in guarantee. Britishers or East India Company taken Tipu's two sons as the hostage. Now, this basically led to the last Anglo-Mysore War, that is called Fourth Anglo-Mysore War in 1799. So English as well as Tipu Sultan, they used this period between 1792 to 99 to recoup their losses. Tipu Sultan had, however, fulfilled all the terms of Treaty of Seringpatnam, and he also got his sons released from East India Company. Then in 1796, when Hindu ruler of Vodiyar dynasty died, Tipu refused to place Vodiyar's minor son on the throne, and he declared himself as Sultan of the dynasty. Then war began on 17th April 1799 and it ended on May 4, 1799 with the fall of Seringpatnam from the hands of Tipu Sultan. Here Tipu Sultan got defeated first by English General Stuart and then by General Harris. He let down his life fighting bravely. His family members, they were interned at Vellore, and his treasures had been confiscated by English. English, after his death, chose a boy from the earlier Hindu royal family of Mysore as Maharaja and also imposed on him subsidiary alliance system. So under subsidiary alliance system, they started ruling indirectly. Okay, on the Mysore. So here in the map, you can see the another shaded path of Mysore dynasty, which had been taken over by the victor side, Marathas, Nizam of Hyderabad and English East India Company. Then after this battle, after the series of Mysore War. In 1831, William Bentinck took control of Mysore on the grounds of misgovernance. And after this event, 50 years after that, in 1881, Lord Ripon restored the kingdom to its local ruler. So that is all about the conquest and expansion of British Empire in Bengal and Mysore. So and then here in this picture, you can see expansion of British Empire or East India Company during 18th to 19th century, where pink shaded part is the territory which had been taken over or which had been directly ruled by British East India Company. And the peach marked areas that has been ruled by princely states or Indian states, basically directly or indirectly. So that is all in this video. I will discuss about Anglo-Maratha War and Anglo-Punjab War and other areas which has been conquested and expanded by British Empire. Till then, thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. Take care.